Okay, I'm James Tagg with Valis, and we send brains to space. So we take a skin cell sample from you, and we turn that into a stem cell, we turn that into an organoid, and we send it up to the International Space Station. So an organoid is a 2 to 5 millimeter sphere that looks like that, and that is a literal clone of your brains, the part of the cerebral cortex. Why do we send them to space? When they come back from space, they are between 10 and 80 years old. So they're cognitively 10 years old, and they are biologically 80 years old. And so that gives us an aging model, and that's useful for two things. One, it's useful because if I want to make a computer out of it, then I want them to be grown up, because newborn babies don't compute very well. And the second thing, of course, is it gives me an aging model. So if I can take a clone of your brain and send it up to space, I get an 80-year-old version back. I can tell you if you get Alzheimer's, and it is your brain, so I can treat it with a potential drug, and I can see whether that has a beneficial effect and whether it is toxic to you. So what we're building is a large brain model. So when you bring your brain back, we put it into an array, and that allows us to talk to it, see it work, and also administer drugs. So the most simple drug we have to give it is glucose. We just have to give it glucose and feed it, but you can give it all sorts of things to see whether those have beneficial effects. Why? What's the problem we're trying to solve? The whole industry is trying to achieve AGI, general intelligence, and the thing that we know does AGI today, of course, is the human brain. So by building a large brain model, I get an AGI model. The other thing, of course, is that we have this horrible gap in drug development where we do animal tests, which are particularly poor for the human brain, and then we are brave and we give it to 20 real people. And we don't really have what you have in the engineering level, where you have finite element analysis and wind tunnels and test pilots, and then we go with real people. But what we're going to get now is the emergence of AI and organoids. So we have body models, which are not human beings, and AI and quantum AI and so on, that can then make a model like a finite element analysis, and you put it in the organoid and you see whether that actually works the way you want it to work. What do we do with it? We have a model of your brain, so we can do things to optimize learning. We have DoD interested in looking at how you deal with high cognitive load. We couple them to biosensors, also actually in the oil and gas area, because the most sensitive sensors we have at the moment are molecules, and generally complex molecules, and the only way to talk to those molecules is with another molecule. Social behavior, if you want to model what brains will do in markets or in social networks, having an actual brain model is very useful. We humans today do some very cool things that we can't get AIs to do very well. So single shot learning, friend foe detection, we're still better at image recognition by quite a long way. And then the final thing is the industry now thinks that, well, the scientific community thinks that on balance the brain is probably a quantum computer. So the benefit of a biocomputer that is scaled is we have a 5 billion bit quantum computer. Now, we don't need it to be a quantum computer for our company to be successful, but if it is one, it's very successful. What would you do with that? You'd crack Bitcoin, which is the paper on the wall, and do lots of interesting things like apply it to your business, right? You need a quantum computer. This is potentially a quantum computer that is scaled that you can use. It's a bit funky quantum computer. It's not a train track quantum computer, but it's the sort of thing that you would use in drug discovery or chemical discovery. Drugs were a second thought, really. We started with the computation, but in April, the FDA announced they're going to phase out animal trials. So mice are going to go away, and they're going to go away in favor of biological models, right? So suddenly it's like, oh, okay, this drug thing is actually really going to happen. Obviously, the AI markets and the drug markets are enormous. Personalized medicine at the moment is a bit of a dark horse. We do quite a lot of personalized medicine, but most of it's just caring for people who've got Alzheimer's, right? But suddenly we've got a way of testing drugs against these diseases of old age, and it's very personalized medicine. If you were watching the press, the first individually personalized medicine was given to a baby last week. So this sort of super personalized medicine is a thing. We're a spin out of UCSD. We have about 20 doctoral students and postdocs on staff at UCSD, funded by a mixture of philanthropy and the NIH. We have a couple of people who are not on staff, which you need if you're going to do a spin out from the University of California system, because the way it works. and that's Will and I, and a bunch of scientific advisors as well. And that's Valis. That's what we do. That's what we're doing.